It's his work that has made a name for this man as one of the most notable American artists in history. Edward Hopper, an artist that had a unique eye for landscape and transformed the way we view this style of painting.
He painted very typical American scenes, kind of the street that we all recognize, Main Street, USA. But he did it with some wonderful touches of modernism, really focusing on light and form in a way that other landscape painters in this country hadn't done before.
Born and raised in Nyack, New York, Edward Hopper developed this style while living at a home built by his grandfather. Much of his work depicts the images he was surrounded by while growing up in this quaint Hudson River village, and although the small life made an imprint on him, he was destined to move on.
Edward couldn't wait to get out into the world. I think that the house is kind of a wonderful symbol of where he was and how he thought about art. You know, he was here grounded in the history and the tradition of the place. Kind of through his back window, he had this historical perspective, and yet through his front window, he can see the Hudson River and New York City, almost kind of looking at the future. So he was kind of at that crossroads, kind of having both to draw on for his own art.
Hopper's work is well known in the art community, but also with the average individual.
Probably the most iconic image, the most iconic Hopper image is Nighthawks, which is the scene in the diner on the corner. And in fact, it's been co-opted into popular culture, and sometimes you'll see it with Santa and his reindeer, or Marilyn Monroe and James Dean. When you see a Hopper painting, you recognize it, and I think it's partially because it is within our kind of cultural literacy, but also because we recognize those landscapes. These are the everyday scenes we see in towns all across the country.
The Hopper House, as it is today, came to be after the death of Edward. With no relatives to take over the estate, the house was left for demolition.
The town saved it, restored it completely, scrubbing the floors, repainting, and it became the art center. It was very much a community effort. Nyack has very strong feelings about the arts and supporting the arts, and not only for Edward Hopper, but also because of architecture and historic preservation. Kind of all of those layers made it very important to the village of Nyack.
Today, monthly shows are on display promoting many local artists within the Hudson Valley. Artists like Ned Harris, who became attracted to the Nyack area because of the attention paid to the promotion of the arts.
Well, Hopper House is part of the history of this place, of the county, and that was the purpose of moving into this county, because of its tradition as an art colony. And Hopper House was at the very beginning. And so I've had one-person shows here and group shows all through the years, and I thought it was appropriate now for this show. I just saw what you see hanging here, I just saw here.
And what is the theme of the current display at the Hopper House?
Red is everywhere, you see.
And red is definitely everywhere.
Red inspired me, and I had no choice. It was taking over my field of vision.
The art displayed ranges from photography to paint and sculpture. Each artist with his own vision of red, each style complementing the other, all drawn together with Ned's vision, and he has his own way of discovering this vision.
Instinct. I hope that the show explains itself without my answering why I did it. People are in most of my pictures, and it's very accessible and sort of entertaining in a way. And I wanted somebody who worked completely different, abstractly, but somebody with a lot of energy and warmth in their work. And since I'm dealing with a lot of urbanity here, I wanted counterpoint, and yet working.
While the style of art that is displayed in the Hopper House may differ from the traditional Hopper images, the sense of his artistic inspiration is felt within this gallery.
Edward was very supported in his pursuit of the arts. His family was very supportive. They gave him his first art set, first set of paints when he was 11. And I think that the idea of having a place for artists to show and showing new work and exposing the general public to new work, I think making it accessible, I think, is something that he would have approved of.